Islam is a religion of peace, and it's a religion which binds the other faiths together. If you look at the religion itself, we accept Jesus as a prophet. From Adam right through to all the prophets, Abraham, Isaac, right through the generations, and the final, we believe as Muslims that the final message that came through all the messengers, the prophets, Jesus, Abraham, Moses, etc., and the final version of that in its complete form was with the Prophet Muhammad. So it's the same message that has previously come through Jesus and Moses, and it's in its full form now within the Holy Book, the Quran. These other two religions are mentioned in detail, and there's so much there that unites us. But as I say, there is evil within society which is dividing us.
The population of the world stands at about 5.7 billion. As many as 1.7 billion are Muslim, and that's 1/5 of mankind. Middlesbrough has a population of 135,000, and 15,000 of those are Muslim. This documentary will investigate and uncover a few of these Muslims and their thoughts on society today and how they are treated in a mainly white-dominated community. This is the Victim Support Agency in Middlesbrough, where we spoke to Roxana Ralph, a former student at Teesside University who now works alongside the BME community as a support worker. She was named as Youth Worker of the Year in recognition of her commitment to the local community.
I work for Victim Support. My role is basically to work with people from the BME community, whether that be Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, asylum seekers, people from the Chinese community, basically encouraging them to report crimes to the police, and if they've been subject to racial abuse, offering them emotional and practical support.
Victim Support is funded by the Home Office. It's a charity, and it provides a service for victims who've been victims of crime, whether that's domestic violence or burglaries. And basically we provide victims with practical and emotional guidance and support to get over the crimes in different ways.
After I was attacked, I felt angry and depressed. I couldn't face seeing people or stop going out. The people put me in touch with the Victim Support. I needed to talk and they listened. They helped me get compensation for my injuries. It took a long time, but with their help, my life began to pick up.
I'm quite lucky because I'm a broad-minded person, and having been through the work that I've been before, it's a lot of my work has been with the white community. And in that time I've managed to get across the message of Islam and Muslims in a very positive and respectful way, and vice versa. We've managed to have a great dialogue in that process over the years with many friends and customers and clients that I've had. And as I say, it's that communication that needs to occur, and that will enable us to lead a better society. In terms of personal experiences, yes, walking on the street, before 9/11 I wouldn't have had the same looks that I've had now, even though I haven't got a beard, etc. But yes, we are targeted and we are demonized, and part of that process is the media systems, deliberate misrepresentation of Muslims and Islam in general, and that results in people's views and perceptions towards us in a very negative format. And as a result of that, we suffer from the consequences on a daily basis. Over the past few years, there have been, luckily in Middlesbrough, we haven't had anything too serious, but there are other cities where Muslims have been attacked. Women have had their headscarves pulled off, children have been spat at, and it's going, it's not being reported and it's not being recorded and taken seriously as it should be. But we concentrate on the good in life and focus on that. In terms of the backlash of 9/11 that has occurred, Muslims are obviously being demonized, and various things about Islam are being said which are so untrue. Problems exist within all societies. There's good and bad in every society, and it's the good in society that we need to concentrate on and work with. The changes have been global, but the consequences of that have affected Muslims across the world, and especially in UK and locally as well.
I think a lot of people are sceptical about Muslims after 9/11, but I do think that at the same time they don't believe that all Muslims are terrorists, and well, I hope that's a true belief.
On Tuesday, the 11th of September 2001, terrorists hit the Twin Towers in 2 planes. The 9/11 terrorist attacks resulted in the deaths of 2,551 civilians and serious injuries to another 215. The attacks also killed and seriously injured 460 emergency responders. The terrorists involved with this attack were of Muslim religion. The events of September 11th have made clear the urgent necessity for Muslims and non-Muslims to confront and overcome the barriers that separate them.
I think since the aftermath of 9/11, there's been a lot of racism and terrorist labelling people from BME communities as terrorists and a lot of verbal abuse. Shops have been suffering as a consequence. Smashed windows, car crime has increased. Taxi drivers have been targeted on a night. And I work for the NHS as well part-time, and we've had a lot of staff clients refusing to receive treatment from BME nurses because they're from an Asian background, basically. When I was at school, I suffered bullying, racist abuse. I occasionally get it now when I do visits, working late on the night. I'm not being racist or sexist, it's generally young lads, you know, they think you can call your names and stuff. And again, when I work at the asylum seekers place, I speak to women, and they're a big community that's targeted about racial abuse. And men tend to report it more, whereas women feel isolated, and because of the language barrier, some of them don't speak English, and they're not encouraged to report crimes or abuse or whatever they're feeling. It's just generally passed on to the man, and the man takes the lead, and he's more dominating in the house. He'll deal with the issue basically, whereas women just stay at home. But they are getting out more, learning to speak the language and be more assertive, really. And I'm wanting to run a lot of assertiveness courses for women from asylum seeker and refugee backgrounds, really.
We asked to speak to PC Brian Lindsay from the Cleveland Police, who is a community safety officer in Middlesbrough, but unfortunately did not wish to be interviewed, but instead gave us this information via email about his role within the Middlesbrough community.
I have the responsibility to monitor and record all incidents of racial harassment that occur in the district. I also liaise with the victims of such incidents with a view to assisting with advice or police action that may be necessary to solve an individual or ongoing problem. My role involves regular contact with existing minority groups within the district. Contact is maintained with such minorities as Muslims, Sikhs, Hindus, Chinese and Iraqis. These are the details regarding racially motivated incidents recorded by the police for the previous years that have taken place across the full district, which include the North Ormsby area, Hemlington and Colby Newham. In the year 2001, we recorded 112 racially motivated incidents. In the year 2002, we recorded 99 racially motivated incidents. In the year 2003, we recorded 142 racially motivated incidents, and in the year 2004, we recorded 155 racially motivated incidents. At the present moment, in 2005, we have recorded 25 racially motivated incidents. The numbers above include all types of incidents ranging from assaults, public order, criminal damage, graffiti and verbal abuse. Whilst the figures have risen over the years, I feel that this is due to the fact that victims are now more confident of reporting such incidents to the police.
We've just recently started, and the project that we're on is for the ethnic minorities to try and develop a victim support service for the local ethnic minority community because of their lack of engagement with victim support service. and as a result they're suffering in terms of being victims, and as a result of that it's affecting their lives, and we're trying to develop this service so we can provide assistance and help the victims of crime within the ethnic minority community to be able to self-support themselves through these processes.
I'm involved with the NISA project, and we run groups for women and young girls from the BME communities. We're setting up an Asian Muslim girls group just to share their views. We're working a lot with the girls from the who are really religious, the one who wear the hijab and stuff, encouraging them to report and participate within the community, feel socially included in society really, rather than excluded, and airing their views in a safe environment, and then again offering them support and encouragement and a lot of empowerment work really.
Within the mosque, we got the sense that the Muslim community is very close-knit, happy and friendly, and most willing to include and teach others about their religion and lives. After speaking to some of Middlesbrough's Muslim community, I realised that they had their own ideas about how they would like society to be in the future.
Totally peaceful, I see it. In the long run, yes, there's going to be problems. As I say, problems exist in every aspect of life, and we've got to overcome them. There are solutions in overcoming them. It's down to individuals and authorities and governments to try and bring those goodness together into a practical form, which is highly possible.
I'd like to see that we're willing to work together, because Islam does and Muslims do generally promote peace and equality and diversity really. I'd like to see we work together in partnership with other organisations and live as a nice community really, because it can happen and it can be achieved, and it has been happening for such a long time. Just these days Muslims are viewed as terrorists. I think all the religions on a whole just need more cultural diversity training. And I think it should start with the young children in the schools as well. I know they have religious education and you have these young offenders that don't attend. It should be more in like youth clubs, these training centres that have got like sessions going to work with young offenders, young offending team and stuff. And maybe even the police, when they've been detained for a bit, they should be encouraged to be anti-racist rather than racist.
If everybody learns to tolerate everyone else and understands where they come from, what they do, how they feel, and you will live in harmony, which is what we ultimately want.